What up, though? This is Erica Marie, also known as Miss Erica, also known as Ma Dukes, and I am bringing you episode 3 of Unsolicited Advice from a Mom. In this episode, I'll be talking to Grambling State University's own Aries Gardner, also known as A1, and we'll be talking a little bit about his time at a historically black college and stepping out of his comfort zone, and the fact that he has a very unique experience on getting a chance to work with me for a summer. So we had a really entertaining conversation, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Okay, so introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Aries Gardner, first baseman for the Grambling State Tigers. This is unsolicited advice with, mom number 2, much love. I'm glad to be here.
So you are originally from Detroit, of course.
I am. Detroit, West Side, Puritan, Santa Rosa. Yes, sir.
And what's your classification in school? What's your major? What's all those things?
So my major is business management. I am on the field. I'm a redshirt sophomore, but in the classroom, I'm a junior. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, man, ever since a kid, every time somebody asks me this, I will forever say the same first answer. I want to be a professional baseball player for sure. But as me and you have talked before, I definitely have to, get out of my comfort zone. And, I am going to school, I am getting a degree. So basically, I know my major is business management. And, with the connections I have in baseball and things of that nature, and even interning with you, I like the whole business management role. Hopefully, with the connections I have, I can still be around the game that I love in baseball. There are numerous positions in the front office with different organizations, data analysts, things of that nature, like a lot of behind the scenes stuff that guys, like as an athlete, when you're playing it, you don't really think about it, but like baseball is a business. It's a huge business. So, I know you had your stint with the Tigers, and you told me about that. So like, if I could be in the front office of an MLB team, still be around the game that I love, that'd be a beautiful thing. So, and I did, after my internship with you, just seeing the entertainment side, they have management. So it's just the whole, I like being behind the scenes and just seeing how, like, letting the, events like sporting or concerts or anything like that, like revolving in that realm. I kind of like, I love that. I love it.
You got a preference between sports and entertainment?
I would say sports, just because like I've been an athlete and I have a lot of relatability to the athlete. So I feel like I'd have more of a perspective, the athlete perspective, being for the athletes, because at the end of the day, that's what we're promoting. That's what, that's what we're just trying to look out for the athletes as an organization. So I'd definitely say my preference would be in sports for sure.
Okay. Outside of work, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Outside of work, is that a deep question? Is that one of them deep questions? I don't So,
I never try to make assumptions, but like, you want to get married, you want to have kids, like you want the whole like traditional family life.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be a good husband one day, one day. Okay. But like right now, that's so like in my head right now, I'm 21. That's so like far off. Like,
but that's why I said when you grow up, like, are those things that you've thought about?
No, for sure. Like, I definitely want to be a provider, for a family. I have a father.
Be a baseball dad?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Or honestly, me being an athlete, I would never force sports on my kids. Honestly, like I never would. Like I would let them choose. Like I feel like there has to be a natural inclination or like a love for the sport. Because if you don't love it from the get, it's like you'll give up on it when stuff gets hard. So it's just like I would definitely I'm gonna drop some hints for sure. I'm gonna little decorations in the room, a little baseball picture here and there, but but no, I wouldn't force it on my kids. But definitely, I can see myself as a leader in a household one day. Father, good husband, all that good stuff for sure.
Okay. See, that's why I was like, no, I got to take you outside. You know me. That's how I've always been with you. I'm gonna take you out your comfort zone.
I got you. I got you.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
never
not
gonna
used
let
to
you
this
get
much.
So one of the first things that popped in my head to
Mhm,
cover, and I didn't give you a heads up on this, is
mhm,
the transition from Detroit
mhm.
to Mobile
Yeah,
to Grambling.
yeah. Okay.
That's a lot, and all three of those places are dramatically different.
Mhm.
What did you take from being in Detroit that you were able to use in both of those places? What did you take from Mobile that has helped you in Grambling?
This is a great question. That was a great question. But I mean, being from Detroit native, we got thick skin. We got. I took that Detroit attitude definitely with me to Mobile, and I kind of had a pre thought like, okay, I'm going to the South. I got to watch out for this. I got to watch out for that. Maybe people will treat me this way. I kind of had my own judgments before actually going down there and interacting with the people. When I got to Mobile, um, I was just kind of on my P's and Q's, kind of like, all right, these people are going to be a little different. What should I expect? When I got down there, man, these are like the South in general, probably the nicest people I've ever met. Like, I mean, it like being from Detroit, it'll almost like, all right, is this person trying to like set me up or like is it like a and it's just like no, they're actually genuine. They wholeheartedly mean it, like will open their doors to you, feed you. And it's
You
just
waiting on the other shoe to drop. Like we're accustomed to people approaching you
mhm,
with with some game, like you trying
literally
to get
trying to
over
game
them.
me. Like I'm just overthinking, really,
And it
just
turns
thinking.
out they're just being nice.
And they're just being nice, and they really mean it, and like, and it's no biggie to them. Like, it's not that deep.
They actually get offended by us because we don't speak naturally.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Like the good, like I'm going to class on campus my freshman year at South, and I just see these two girls and a guy, and they're like, "Hey, good morning." I was like, well, "All right, good morning to you too." Like I've never seen you in my life, but good morning. Like you have a great day. Like
right.
it's just those little small things. And I picked that up, and I tried to adjust my behavior a little bit. Like, hey, maybe I can tell somebody good morning and not think twice about it. Like, just be a nicer person in general. And I feel like just people down south are more like happy. Like they just wake up happy. Like it's just a different vibe. It's definitely a different vibe for sure. But I
So how did
definitely
Detroit help you in Grambling?
Detroit helped me in Grambling. Okay, so going from South to Grambling, HBCU, totally different. Like totally like when I first got down here, I mean, this was the most, I mean, at a college or like a institution, this is the most black people I've ever been around. And it's like different black people though. It's like you've got your guys who are interested in, tech stuff, anime, and it's like we're all black, but there's like different black people. Like if that makes sense, like if you understand what I'm saying. So
I
um
understand. It's the fact that we're not, the term is monolith. We're not a monolith. Everybody, black
mhm,
person does not have the same
literally.
experiences, upbringings. Like we're
Literally.
all a little different.
Mhm,
You got the private school black folks, you got the public school ones, you got the ones that grew up in the suburbs, you got the ones that grew up in the city, you got the
literally.
ones that went to, schools where there were nobody else but other black people. You got the
Mhm,
ones where they were one of the only black people.
mhm. Yeah, and it's just like
And
this big melting pot, pretty much, of just different black folks, and it just definitely taught me to. This is like the first time in my life, like where I feel like, cause like playing baseball, especially, like I'm usually like growing up, I was usually the only black kid on the team or things like that. So I always felt like I had to like prove myself or like do a little more or something like that. And it's just being here, I kind of just can be comfortable in my own skin and not think twice about it. Like, how's this person looking at me or how are they perceiving me? And like that was a thought at South Alabama for sure. Like all the time, like it was always on the front of my mind. Like, okay, if I do this or if I say this certain way, like how would they take it? This, that, and the third. But when I'm here, it's just I can be myself. Like I remember coming in, Coach Davin Pierre. I mean, his first thing, our first conversation, he's like, "Man, here I'm gonna let you be yourself. I understand you." And like when he said that, like it was like this big weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, all right, I can play ball and I can be me, and that was a comfortability I haven't felt pretty much around the game of baseball in a while. So it was a great experience. And Grambling pretty much taught me to bask in my blackness for sure, like for sure,
Good.
for sure. And it's a great
And
experience.
I will
Sure.
also say that is an interesting thing that I was not going to bring up, but I absolutely now because you said it made you bask in your blackness.
Mm-hmm.
While you interned with me at the Aretha this summer, you had a very, very you had several unique experiences. And we're going to switch into that. But the first one that me and you keep talking about, Burna Boy.
Absolutely. Crazy Bob. Like
So in July, Burna Boy started doing like a US tour, and Detroit at the venue that we were working at in Detroit was the first US show. And somehow, as an intern, you get asked to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that particular day, you got asked to be security.
I did.
But before you got asked to be security, you had just kind of taken a walk.
Yeah. Literally.
You just walk through the venue, the crowd is there, opening acts are up, and you just take a walk through the crowd.
See the box.
Describe.
So yeah, I took a walk just to go through the venue. I think this was like before, like right before, like the first people initially getting through the gate. I'm just walking through the venue, just checking everything out, and I see the demographic of people. Definitely, I'm like, oh, these are all black folks, but like these are like all people from different countries in Africa. So I'm like, I'm just walking around and I see this group of young ladies, and it definitely was probably the most pleasant smell I ever smelled in my life. Like it was crazy. Like it definitely hit me, and I just felt like I had to stop and talk to them for a minute. And it was just hearing their accents, like, and I've been in Detroit. I didn't even know there was that many African people in Detroit. Like, and it's like just the culture, just the attire they had on. I mean, the music itself was just like, I felt like, I don't know, like I just became an instant fan. Like, and I'm in the middle of the show. I'm looking up the songs. I'm like, damn, I'm like, I gotta put this on my playlist. Like, this is fire. But no, like that. I mean, it was a great experience. Like, just that whole. It felt like. I mean, after that, I think I told you I was looking up my ancestry and all this stuff to see where I went back to.
You immediately were like, I'm figuring out what country my family is from. I'm going back to go visit.
I'm on.
You were like, I gotta tap in.
I was all in, just off the whole Afro. I believe it's Afro beat is the correct term.
No, you actually told me it was a different term.
Is it? I thought
you told me Afro beats was actually limiting, and there's another term.
Yes, I believe somebody from Burna Boy's team was explaining it to me. I think whether it's Afro beat or some Afro music, I believe. I don't know. I can't even remember.
You can't remember right now, but you know that there was a wider term.
Definitely
Afrobeat.
Definitely, absolutely. But yeah, the whole Burna Boy show, like I instantly became a fan. I just went on YouTube after. I'm on the way home, literally after the show. I'm on the way home jamming. Like it was definitely a unique experience. Definitely got me out my comfort zone, but that was definitely one of the highlights of my summer. Literally, like definitely.
Goodness, and one of the toughest moments of the summer. Do we agree on what the toughest moment was?
Yeah, for sure. I already know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You already know what I'm talking about. So one of the toughest moments, especially because you and I, when you were in high school, when you got to U of D, like we just clicked immediately. Like absolutely. Deuce absolutely says that he got cool with you because I got cool with you. He's like, I got cool with you first. And then he kind of picked up on it because y'all would see each other after that. So I don't remember how or why or what, but you and I have always we clicked. We just understood each other. We've had good rapport. We've had great conversations.
Absolutely.
Like your parents fully understand it.
Yep.
Like absolutely. It's just a thing.
Mhm.
And going into this past summer,
Mhm.
we talked about it. You wanted to learn a little bit more about the other side of the music industry since you have some friends that are artists. You wanted to learn a little bit
Absolutely.
more about the other side.
Yep.
Said, great, I need somebody to work with me. I know we get along great. Let's make it happen.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
this was your first summer doing something that was not baseball. This was the first time that more than just asking you to do community service for a day or help somebody out for a day or a couple hours or whatever. This was the first time that you were like expected to be somewhere on a
You gotta
regular
go to work,
schedule.
brother. Yeah, you gotta go to work. Like, yeah, you got work.
Like
Yeah,
this was your first time like going to work for real, for real.
absolutely. It
Like
was.
you, like I expect you here at this time. You're supposed to work until this time. You're supposed to
Mhm.
sit still.
That was the thing. Oh my goodness, sitting still. Oh Lord,
Sitting still was its own adventure, and you had to come and sit still.
I did.
And we really I for real, I had to
Mhm.
take the mom hat off and put the boss hat on.
You did. You did.
You really like we had to have a for real like come to Jesus.
Real moment. Real
Real,
moment.
like this was not even a mom moment. I told
Hmm.
you pushed me where I was past that.
Hmm.
And we had to have a very, very honest conversation. And so part of why I want to make sure that we cover it in this is because there are other people, there are other peers of yours that may not have really had a regular job yet for whatever reason, being busy, being
Hmm.
involved in stuff, just not getting an opportunity or whatever.
Hmm.
And yeah, that responsibility of being at work,
Hmm.
like I guess like I'm accustomed to it. I've been doing it for long enough. But for you,
Hmm.
what was the huge difference? You had grown accustomed to like your class schedule is your class schedule. You expected to be in class. Your practice schedule is your practice schedule. There was something about work that you were like, yeah, but I'm tired. So can I go
Yeah.
early?
Yeah.
Oh, but I need to take a nap. Can I come in late? Like
Hmm.
that's how we started. Like what made you process that different?
Man. Ooh, these some good questions.
Like, because it was
Base.
something about that commitment that didn't hit you that it was
Yeah.
the same commitment.
So, like you said, like this was the first summer. You know, I was in an activity that just wasn't anything athletic, pretty much. So like in baseball, you have your schedule. Hey, you got to be at the field this time. You got to warm up like that. Like that's something normal. Like being punctual, things like that is something I definitely learned even on the baseball field.
Being
But
early. Y'all tend
yeah,
to be early for
yeah,
practice.
absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like with work, like I just came in like, and I like this summer I still did play baseball, so like I'm still going to games. I'm still, getting my work in, things of that nature, and then going, doing the internship. So I feel like just a couple of the days it just became like, bro, like, dude, I just had a double header. I know I gotta go to work. I know I got to. Like it is, like I have to. Like it is what it is. Like I signed up for this. Like I wanted this experience. So I mean, some days it became overwhelming, but I kind of just like, hey, you wanted this experience, bro. You got to just bear down and do it. Cause like, hey, in baseball, everything ain't going your way all the time. Like you may not. And if I'm being honest, as an athlete, especially, now I'm at Grambling State. Like there's some days, bro, you wake up and it's just like you don't want to be there. Like there is some days, like you're human, like you have emotions, and I just had to like I felt that with baseball, but like when it was something just not baseball, I'm like, well, why am I here? Like, why am I? I was just quicker to just like, well, I was just giving myself excuses. I'm like, well, bro, I need more sleep, this, that, and the third. But like, if it was ball, I was telling myself like in the car on the way home, like, if this was ball, you wouldn't have made that excuse. So like, it's just like I definitely had to have some mental adjustments for sure and treat this like I always like related back to if it was baseball. Like, how would you approach it if it was baseball? Because this is something that you love. So, it was definitely a valuable lesson. Like, but it definitely like when it just wasn't something athletic, it was just like I feel like it was easier to just in my head to give myself excuses, and that's when it came into play when we had our come to Jesus moment for sure. And yeah, I had some real self-reflecting to do in that moment, for sure. For sure. But yeah. I mean, I was so grateful for the experience, for sure. Like, I know I've told you that.
You had some interesting moments. You
I did.
got some memories for a lifetime.
What? Jodeci. Come on, bro. Like that whole come on, bro. I had some experiences. Like literally.
Carl Thomas.
Yeah. Talking, like really chopping it with me. I didn't
Right.
even know who he was to that day. But my parents knew clearly. So like
Right. And he pulled you to the side and was like, no, let's talk.
yeah, literally. Yeah.
So it worked out. It's good that we had our conversation
Mm-hmm.
and that you kind of adjusted and figured out that you had to approach things differently.
Definitely.
Because, goodness, boy. Anyway, so I will also say, I'm going to give you an opportunity. So you are, because y'all know, like I very unintentionally have become this ongoing teen mom or whatever it is. But you got a chance that nobody else got. You worked with me. You saw me at work. Everybody else sees me like in mom mode. You saw me in work mode. No. And what was that? Like, am I the same? Am I different?
I say you're I would say you're the same in some instances. Like you said, like you'll mom somebody, like no matter age, difference, don't matter, things of that nature. But like I feel like I picked up on things like your little cues before a lot of people did. Like, and I'm sitting in there and I'm like, oh my goodness, they don't even know like she's pissed off right now. Like it's just like little.
You're like, it's getting bad. It's getting bad.
It's getting bad, brother. Like I was kind of giving guys like the little, hey, like you might want to tread lightly, or like you should stop. And like people wouldn't notice, like they'll be in their own realm or whatever, doing what they're doing. I'm like, nah, brother, she's irritated. Like you might want to change the tone, or like I don't know. Like I was trying to be a helping aid, but like
you're trying to wave the yellow flags, like slow down.
Yeah, but like you're a great worker. I say like the collaborative effort between you and the people in the office, definitely. Like I mean you guys, you had your, little, like every workplace I would assume, like definitely has their moments. But
if you imagine it like a team, like teams at some point are going to have their moments where it's like we are not on the same page.
Literally. But I feel like you guys had communication though at the end of the day. And I feel like the only problems that arose was just lack of communication, literally. On both sides, whether it's one party not communicating or, just, when you guys were at our best, I felt like it was just a lot of talking going on. Everybody's on the same page. And when it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's good. And you guys did a great job as a whole production team, for sure.
And when it's stressful, it's stressful.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Some handle stress better than others. Some definitely handle stress better than others, but
yes. But I will also tell you, because I've worked on the sports side of things, the same thing can happen in the front office in a sports organization. If everybody's communicating, if everybody's kind of staying in their lane and mastering their lane, it's amazing. And I've been a baseball mom forever. I can use a baseball analogy. When your catcher and your pitcher and your first base and your infield, and when everybody's kind of playing their role, everything goes smoothly. That's when you can turn double plays and you can get, 3 up, 3 down and all of that. When you suddenly got your center fielder trying to act like a shortstop, when you suddenly got your catcher to think that he gonna tell a pitcher what to do for real, you start having some issues.
Yep.
And everything.
It's team chemistry at the end of the day. No matter what realm it's in, sports, entertainment, it's a team effort, literally.
Absolutely.
Everybody will be on the same page, for sure. Yeah, I completely understand that, for sure.
Yes. I'm going to also ask you, because we've been cool for so long, is there any piece of advice that I've given you that you can think of?
Any piece of, man, get out your comfort zone. Literally, like, bro, like, yeah, we know you the athlete. Like, we know, hey, Aries, you're the baseball player, went to UD, whatever. You like, you're more than that though. Like you're not just the baseball player. You're one day, like the question you just had, one day I'm gonna be a provider of a family. Like one day, like literally. So
Yeah.
just dealing with those thoughts, like just hey, let's try something. Let's try this. You know, so that I've pretty much like I feel like that was and like everybody hears that like don't get outside your comfort zone, do something outside the box. But like coming from you, and then being able to actually go through an experience what was not comfortable for like the whole summer, it was like okay, like now like it's kind of like I just got to see it like in real life, like and it came to fruition. So definitely like I'm more lenient to just, jump out on a limb sometimes and just try some stuff. Sign up with this experience. Like I believe I just got into contact with Tyrone Brooks with the MLB.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And like
with MLB diversity?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if I could hold on, let me go through. I think we had a text thread, but there was like
and if you're not already linked in with him if you're not connected with him on LinkedIn, please do.
Absolutely. But
he posts lots of information there.
One of my teammates actually attended the 2020 SABR Analytics Conference.
Mm-hmm.
And like just that definitely is something like, okay, it's different, but it's revolving around the game you love, brother. Like, so I feel like if I would have never had that experience, I would never would have even reached out to him, honestly. So it's like just that type of just being fearless, kind of like. But it was a different type of fear. Like in baseball, you do with fear, like, all right, this guy throwing his cheese today. He's at 95. He's spotting up. Like this is a good pitcher,
right?
But like you go into like, hey, it's me and him. I'm better. It is what it is. Like we're going to compete. But when I kind of took that mental attitude and that same aggression and like, hey, I can do this in the workforce too. Like, hey, this might not be your forte, but it can be. You can make it, like just get out your comfort zone. So I'd say that was definitely probably the biggest piece.
And take things that you learn from past experiences.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Because they can dramatically help you in the future. Just like we talked about, what did you know from being a Detroiter? How did that help you in Mobile? How did that help you in Grambling?
Yeah.
I'm also going to tell you every single time, I'm so glad that you switched to an HBCU.
Know that.
I know that look, every time. You know that I was rooting for you at South because South is where you wanted to be at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When the opportunity came for something different, I knew that this was the experience that you needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was worried with you being in a small town. Because Grambling, Louisiana is a small town.
Very, very small.
But I knew that as long as you could be okay in a small town, you could be okay.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I grew a little love for it. Honestly, like being in a city, like you know how it is. Like
you've gotten into the rivalry of it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You were fully bought into the rivalry.
We're not gonna say we not even gonna get them no light. We're not saying that other school name. We ain't even gonna bring them up, but for sure. Yeah,
I mean, there's somewhere on this shirt, just like y'all are, but
we in there somewhere. We gotta be. If we ain't, you might as well throw the whole shirt
up. Yeah.
For sure. But,
look, as you got me trying to make sure. Yes, y'all are somewhere up that way.
For sure. But
y'all are on here.
Yeah, but being at an HBCU is definitely it was a great experience. Like I'm still in it though, so it's just like,
oh look, I just laughed. Nope, that's where y'all are, and then ironically they're right there. Mm-hmm. But you see how close the logos are.
You know where it's at too. It's close to your heart. That ain't by coincidence. I'm just saying. I'm just for sure. No cap. But yeah, being at HBCU is definitely like in a comparative sense to South, like just the whole culture. Like it's just a whole different culture that I never even like growing up and playing ball. I was just so fixated on I'm gonna go to this type of school, like, and they play ball well, and that's just what. Like, I never even knew. Like, I knew what an HBCU was, but it was just kind of like
it wasn't a place that seemed like it made sense for you.
yeah, it didn't at the time. It didn't make sense for me. But when I got that call from Coach Coop at the time, and Coach Davin Pierre, like, hey, we got an opportunity for you here. We see that you're in the transfer portal. I kind of was nervous, bro. I honestly, if I'm being honest, like, it was just like, bro, this is a small school. Like, what? Like, can I be successful here still? And just when I went down there and really got just immersed in the whole culture, you definitely can do it. Like, this is the same. Like, they definitely, like, if you look at our schedule alone, we're playing the Power 5 schools. Like, I got a road trip to LSU tomorrow. We play the number 1 team in the country. So I'm still on the platform that, that I always wanted as a kid growing up, to play college ball. And I get to do it, with people that look like me. And that's definitely an experience that I wouldn't trade for the world right now, for sure.
You got a chance to play where the Astros play?
Absolutely. Yep. We played at Minute Maid Ballpark. I believe the Atlanta Braves, Coolray Field. I believe that's one of their minor league ballparks. I mean, we play at some dope venues, and I'm getting a great experience. So, like I said, and then the teammates that I have, Lord, I mean, bro, like, these my dogs. Like, and it's like everybody, like I said, like we said, it's like the different black people. So, like, with baseball, like, it's just so, like, I've got teammates from the Dominican Republic. I had a teammate from Delaware. I ain't never met a soul from Delaware. Like, I ain't even know it was black people in Delaware, for sure. But
and in Maine.
Maine, that's a place.
And in Iowa.
For sure. Yeah.
There's black people in Iowa. That's the place I did not realize.
But yeah, so it's definitely, like, all in all, I'm grateful for the experience, for sure. For sure. And I definitely want to be an example, to that next young black ball player, that you can make it at HBCU, for sure. You just got to put the time in, stay focused, don't get knocked off your pivot, and it's definitely a place where you can make it out of, for sure, and you'll be happy, for sure. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I ain't there yet, but, I'm steady.
But you can see it, though.
I can see it. That's all I needed, is just to see it. No cap, but yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let you get back to studying, because that's important, and you got to get some rest because you got a big game tomorrow.
I do. Appreciate the interview. This was fun.